What's up, YouTube? Bagpiper coming at you from the kitchen. Got a package in the mail, and it is leaf tobacco. It is a quarter pound of Latakia and a quarter pound of Virginia from 2013. And I am going to try to press out my own flake. Just wanted to experiment. I'm just going to go 50-50 on it and see what happens. But I wanted to bring y'all along for the ride. We'll press it for about 2 weeks. So let's get this started. The smell out of this package is amazing. So what I'm using for a press is I just went to Walmart and bought an 88-cent dustpan. I cleaned it, lined it with parchment paper. You can also use wax paper. I have a second one that I'll put on the top of it. Then I have a quarter pound of Latakia cured Orientals. It's kind of a broken leaf, but it'll work. And then I have a quarter pound of American Virginia Flu cured from 2013. Prepare for Ben Hunter. That's me. So this is the leaf. Still has a stem in it, so we're going to have to do some prep work and cut the stems out. You know, you got to pick out the stems and seeds. And, oh man, that Latakia. Love it. Alright, so let's get this prepped up. So I'm doing a even 50-50 amount of Latakia to Virginia. Didn't have an exact ratio. I just figured we'll experiment and see what happens. So what I'm trying to do is I am pulling the stems out of each type of leaf. I'm trying to create a layer of one on the bottom. And then I will pull the other type of leaf out to create a layer. And then I'll just repeat the process. Latakia, Virginia, Latakia, Virginia, Latakia, Virginia. Until I run out of leaf. Now I know when I've done this process in the past, with ribbon cut, when I was putting one of my aromatic blends together, I put it in the press for like 36 hours and it turned it into like a crumble cake, and I was able to crumble it back out, package it. So I know that it works. A day and a half melds the flavors together and speeds it up by a couple of weeks. 2 weeks in a press should stick them all together really, really well. They're not really wet. They're actually probably, if you wanted to like cut these up into ribbon and just put them straight into a bike, you could probably smoke them. So I might add just a tad bit of moisture to it, just to help push the leaves together. Yeah, that one's a little dry. Of course, it's from 2013 too. Let me show you what I got going on. So as you can see, I've got a layer of Latakia. Now I'm just adding a layer of Virginia over the top of that. And I'll just repeat the process. But anyways, the first time that I did the press, I filled this all the way up, as much as it would hold. And then once I pressed it out, even if it was for a day and a half, it was about, from it being this thick, which is like almost 3 inches, I was able to press the tobacco down to like 3/8 of an inch thick. So it works really well. I know people use stainless steel all the time. I just didn't have access to stainless steel tubes right away. Honestly, I was in a hurry. I was impatient. So I just went and spent $2 on
Mom, can I say like? I gotta mix it all up, okay? Okay.
on some bread pans, and they work really well. I was really surprised. So that's the way you could do it. You could also go buy muffin pans and use actual muffin cups, the paper linings for the muffins. Throw them in there, and then you could have a bunch of little plugs, and then shave off of there. However you want to go about doing it. This looks really cool. So that is a layer of Latakia, and then a layer of Virginia, and then going back to more Latakia, and then more Virginia until we run out. So, real quick, while I'm still going through all this, not that I am endorsed by Leaf Only, but I bought a half a pound of leaf shipped from Leaf Only. It was a 1/4 pound sampler of Latakia and a 1/4 pound Virginia sampler. Shipped to the house for 16, we'll say $17. So really not bad. You can get like a pound of leaf, depending on what type of leaf and the cure process. And I don't really think age matters because this stuff was from 2013. I could also got like 2017. But the pound is anywhere from like $26 to 40, I think. I saw one on there for 40. I'm not sure. But relatively inexpensive. I spent $17 on 100 gram tin of Frogmorton. So 100 gram tin is 3.5 ounces. And I got 8 ounces of leaf for $17. So as long as you're willing to do the work, it's a really good deal. They say sometimes, like this Virginia's is a little dry, so you can spray it with distilled or filtered water and let it dry. Or it might come too wet and you have to let it sit out for like a week to let it dry. But it is possible. You could cut it with a knife. You could just rip it apart. You could get a tobacco like spaghetti maker thing and cut it into ribbon. However you wanted to process it to smoke. Smoke it straight. Mix it together. However you want to go about doing it. My fingers smell like Latakia and it is so good. Oh my god, I love it. I'm going to show you I'm a couple of layers in. Running low on space. It's getting full. We're also running low on tobacco. I feel like I can get it all in there. This has been a little bit dry, so I've been taking some filtered water. Just a couple of drops. There's a lot of tobacco in here, so every 4 or 5 layers, a couple of drops of water. And then we'll press it out. And we'll let it sit for 2 weeks. I don't have a meat cutter like some people use, you know, like the big meat cutter thing. I used to have access to one of those, but I no longer work in the restaurant, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to cut it with my ceramic Stone River. This thing cuts amazing. Super sharp, so I think it'll work. If it doesn't, then I don't know, I guess I'll have to leave it in a plug form until I can buy like one of those Oppo knives or something. But we're going to get a flake out of this. That is the goal. I want a flake. And Just so we're aware, like this is still technically whole leaf, but the way it's cured and stuff, it's way grainier or plumpier, as you can see, than like the Virginia. But works pretty well. I might take the shavings that are left, and instead of putting them in the press, I might just throw those in a jar and let those sit in the jar for 2 weeks while the press is going. I do have some ramekins. We'll see. Alright, so that is my cake. I can barely get any more on there. So we'll press it down and see. There's all the stems I've pulled out. No seeds though. Alright, so we're going to take another piece of the parchment paper. And then we're going to take the top. And then to fill in the void so the clamps work, I've just got some wood that I throw in. And then I have another one that I put on the bottom just to keep from denting the pans. And then I'm just using these F-style clamps, basically like this. Do that so you can see how much it goes down. So then what I do is, as I go, I'll release this one. Tighten the clamps up a little bit more. I need to get my third clamp. I forgot it. Hold on. Now, admittedly, C clamps work a little bit better, but I only have one really good C clamp, and it is on my other press. I need to get another 5-inch. Just want to show how much it's compressing. You see the gap? Like, it's obviously working. I've loosened up the other clamps. Then I just release, press it back down. Then we release this one. Press it down. Release the middle one. Press it down. Alright, so before I start squeezing it, it is touching. And now it is not touching, but it's also bending, which is how I know that it's on there as tight as it's going to go. And there's the gap. That's about as tight as I'm going to get it today. I'll come back to it tomorrow and tighten it down again. And then the next day and tighten it down again, and then the next day, until I just can't tighten it anymore. But 2 weeks. It's going to sit in the press for 2 weeks. And we still have some stuff left over. Let's throw this on the scale. See just how much we put in there. Left. We started out with 8 ounces. So there is 5.3 ounces. 5.3 ounces in here. That's pretty good. If you're interested in doing it yourself, that's one way to do it. I'll let y'all know if you're interested. That is a possibility. You're never lonely at leafonly.com. There's a number and the website. And they've got pretty much anything you can want in there. Alright? Till next time, y'all keep them full lit and rolling. Bagpiper out.